Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel Sabotage Games. Today I'm going to be talking to you about 5 tips on how to improve your overtaking in sim racing. Overtaking in sim racing is one of the most misunderstood skills. Most people think it's just simply about being quicker than the car in front. But in reality, clean overtaking is about the psychology, the pressure, the predictability and long-term racecraft. I mean, anybody can just send it up the inside once, but a good driver can overtake repeatedly without causing chaos. These 5 techniques I'm going to talk to you about today are the core fundamentals that separate lucky sends from genuinely repeatable moves that hold up in league racing, and make sure you stick around for tip number 5 because it's the most important one. So let's get straight into it. Tip number 1, build the move 2 to 3 corners ahead. Most clean overtakes never actually happen in the corner where the pass takes place. They start way earlier. You don't need to dive on someone to pass them, but you need to manipulate their decision making over a sequence of corners. Maybe you pressure them into an early defender to turn 6, which ruins their exit into turn 7, which then opens up the run down to the next straight into turn 8. That's the game, you see. Clean overtaking is about shaping the driver ahead like a chess move, pushing them into lines that benefit you later, not instantly. You're not reacting, but you're orchestrating. Now, tip number 2, and this one is huge. Prioritize exit speed, not entry speed. Now, everyone learns to late brake as a beginner because it feels like overtaking, but in proper racecraft, overtakes are usually won in the acceleration phase. If you're able to get back on the throttle earlier with less steering angle, while the other car is still stabilising on the exit, the pass just becomes inevitable on the straight. A good exit is worth 10 times more than a brave entry, so focus on straight line advantage, not corner entry heroics. And now for tip number 3, commit to your line once you show your nose. Now, you might hear about this quite a lot in real racing as well, especially with Formula 1. But clean overtaking depends on trust, and trust is created when your behaviour is consistent. Once you show your nose to the inside, that's your intention. If you change then lanes again unexpectedly, you create uncertainty, which in cause creates panic, and then panic causes contact. So when you show your move, stick to it, because the predictability allows the other driver to leave fair space, which makes the overtake cleaner for both of you. Even if you don't complete the move, you've still applied the pressure without causing chaos. So then, tip number 4, predictability is key, but sometimes a smart surprise move can work. Most overtakes should be telegraphed and clean, but there are situations where a well-timed unexpected move can be decisive, as long as it's controlled. This is not about catching someone out by braking too late, it's about pattern building. For example, if you spent 3 laps shaping the outside line for a hairpin, the driver ahead begins to assume that's your intention every single time. Then on the 4th lap, you pivot early to the inside without braking later, and you arrive with a legitimate overlap and control. That's a calculated surprise, not chaos. The rule is, a surprise move works only when you can still stop the car and remain in full control. If you can't, it's not a surprise, it's just a dive bomb. And finally, tip number 5, and this is the most important one, but it's knowing when not to attack is also part of clean racecraft. People don't like this one because it's not glamorous, but in reality, championship racecraft is defined by restraint. If the overlap isn't there, or you're in a closing radius corner, or the risk just doesn't match the reward, pulling out is also the correct choice. Good drivers don't need to prove they're brave, they know patience often leads to a cleaner opportunity one corner later. That discipline keeps cars alive and races intact. back out when the percentages are wrong, and attack when you do so with margin. That's professional. So guys, if you found this useful, then make sure you stick around, because the next step isn't just about knowing how to overtake, but it's also learning how to defend without causing chaos. If you guys want to see a video on how to defend, breaking down the fundamentals, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so I can tell you how to position the car cleanly, without weaving, without blocking illegally, and without turning into the demolition derby. So make sure you're sub for that, because defending will be coming next. And when you learn both sides, overtaking and defending, that's when your racecraft actually levels up. Make sure you guys check out the video you see on screen right now, talking to you about the new league that I want to be setting up in Assetto Corsa. If you guys are interested in doing some proper racing, then make sure you check out that video to get yourself involved. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.